And how about the benching of Carmelo Anthony for the majority of that second quarter, which, by the way, they played pretty good. Good morning, Boomer. How are you today, buddy boy?
You know, let me turn my mic on. Yeah, well, still a little under the weather, Craigie, but I'll fight through it again. But, the thing is, I actually enjoyed that yesterday.
You like to know
I did, because it reminded me of when the Knicks used to be good, which was like 100 years ago.
Yeah, right.
I didn't mind it, man. Hearing the squeaking of the sneakers, the basketball. I talked to a couple people that went to the game yesterday. They were saying that you could actually hear the players talking to each other on the court. You could hear the clapping of the hands when they wanted the ball.
Stranger for people being there than on TV.
Yeah, yes, it was. It was definitely, and some people liked it, some people didn't. That's the way it's always going to go. And of course, Draymond Green's got to get involved in the act and basically call the Knick brass out by saying this is one of the dumbest things he's ever seen. But at the end of the day, it was kind of interesting. I don't know. It was interesting. But the problem is that the way that it's titled, we want you to enjoy basketball in its purest form.
That's what I was going to get to.
And who's playing?
Not the purest form of basketball.
Well, maybe one team is the purest form of basketball, the Golden State Warriors, even without Kevin Durant. But, I know that, and this is what it's like to be in New York, and this is what I would always tell every player, every coach to understand why they say it's hard to play in New York. The reason it's hard to play in New York has nothing to do with what happens on the court. It has everything to do with what happens off the court. And off the court, of course, Freddie Gerber, who's a writer for the Post, has to ask Carmelo Anthony about his extended stay on the bench in the first half.
Right, basically sat out almost the entire second quarter.
Right. So now this is a reporter asking Carmelo Anthony and he's waiting for Carmelo Anthony to give him an answer.
Yep.
Now, meanwhile, he's already got an answer from Jeff Hornacek, the coach. Jeff Hornacek, the coach, said, well, the second team got us the lead.
Yeah, and this is in relation to the fact that Carmelo was critical of Hornacek the day before.
That's right. So now all of a sudden, they get the lead, and Carmelo is sitting on the bench. Like there's like some major, conspiracy going on here.
Right.
There's not, but this is why it's hard for players and coaches to play here, because the writer is trying to create, friction between the coach and the player.
Right. The story should have been was it a 1-point game at halftime, and that second unit did play very well.
It should be about them, and the fact of the matter also.
Why would you bring Carmelo in? He was playing like crap anyway.
Plus, Golden State was not hitting shots in the first half. One of the reasons why,
of course,
the Knicks ended up getting the lead there. But it just goes to show you that when things are going bad, there's always that question, there's always that third party that is trying to create the friction between the people who are either playing together, or the coach and the player, or the owner and the coach and the general manager.
Sure.
And that's the, when they say it's hard to play here, that's why.
Well, listen, it's you knew the question was coming after the article that came out, the interview that came out, in which he said we don't do any type of changing. We play the same offense the entire game, and we don't coach. That's a direct shot at Hornacek.
There's another coach out the door.
Right, exactly right.
I mean, this is like, it gets to the point
how about
where
this? How about you don't struggle against the 76ers? How about that?
How about play defense? Right. How about just show that you care about defense?
With their best player out for the year, Embiid. Right? The games against the Sixers are mind-boggling.
This was like the lost weekend for New York sports. I mean, between the Islanders, the Rangers, the Devils, and the Knicks and Nets, I think everybody lost.